recording has started. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start. And some of it, like I'm going to be looking down because it's a lot. We took notes and everything, and but it's really good. So we started We paid for the Bob Heilig. Yes, I'm saying his name right. Social media training, and it's really good. Some of it is not new information. I feel like a lot of the training videos and training calls that we've watched from other teams and some of the diamonds, I feel like they probably pulled stuff from this as well. I kind of feel like the new system that Donnelly and Laura tried to implement back in the spring is very similar to this, but yet this is going to be more in depth, and hopefully everybody can use this to further their businesses. So the basic gist of that video is the role of social media. And we're going to do this in a 4-part series. So tonight will be part 1. And I'm not sure, Kim and I haven't talked yet exactly. I don't know if we're just going to do this every Tuesday. I feel like I just want to get this out there so that everybody can be utilizing it. So if we space it out over 4 weeks, that's going to kind of drag it out. So what we may do is she and I may just jump on a Zoom together and present it and record it, and then I can upload it. That way people can watch it sooner than trying to drag it out over a month. And then maybe we can use those other calls to talk about questions and, any problems that anybody's having. Like I said,
there's one other training that I had bought that will be at the very end, and I could also do that on a Zoom recording too. How to use LinkedIn. I haven't gotten to that one yet. That's a whole nother.
I'm gonna mute everybody, and then I'm just gonna unmute Kim and I because there's a lot of background noise. Okay, so Kim is unmuted, and then if somebody needs to jump in and say something, you can unmute yourself. So it's the role of social media, and social media, it can either hurt your business or it can extremely launch your business. And basically, are you spending time prospecting and posting on Facebook? And if you have, and you've been doing that, has your business stalled to this point? Do you feel like you're not growing, you're not getting anywhere, you're not finding prospects, not getting prospects, and not being able to do anything with the ones that you do have? Like I was saying, social media can be your biggest asset, or it can be your biggest enemy in the business. And so we have to understand the core concepts of marketing and just make some little tweaks to what we're already doing, tweaks to our posts so that it helps our social media and it helps us to connect better and to grow better relationships with our prospects that are already in our network. And when we're using social media, it actually accelerates relationships that we have. It builds trust with people. It can build people to like us more, to like what we're sharing. But then you kind of have to look at, what are you sharing? What are you putting out there? And, when you see someone post and you feel like you know them and they know you, then they start to like you more. And when they like you, they trust you. And when they trust you, they join you. So you could be building relationships with people through the content and videos that you share. And the social media, it helps you leverage your time when contacting prospects. You can get a lot more done because you're reaching a mass amount of people. But are you relying too heavily on social media? Are you posting all day long, sending copy and paste messages, and not really working your business? Does that look like the picture of what you've been considered as working your business? If you could get over any fear or hesitation you have when it comes to prospecting and recruiting, what would that be? And this is kind of a rhetorical question for you guys to think about. If you have complete confidence to know exactly what to say to a prospect, regardless of whatever the situation, how would that change your business for you? If you could get over the fear of getting on phone calls with prospects and having a step-by-step plan of what to do and say, what could that do for you in your business? And if you could make a small few tweaks to what you're already doing on social media and instantly start to see results, how would that make you feel, and how would that accelerate your business? If you can get more prospects messaging you back and actually taking a look at your opportunity and your products and your service, your business is going to accelerate immensely. If you were consistently recruiting new people onto your team and acquiring new customers because you were using social media the right way, then maybe this team call is not for you. But I have a feeling it's like every single one of us can benefit, even me. My goal is to go silver every single month, and that did not happen last month. So working hard on that this month. We connect with people on, sorry, there's a nap. We connect with people online through social media and technology, but you also have to take them offline. And a lot of times it's that personal interaction that you have with that person that is actually what is going to be able to close the deal. And I'm not saying you've got to meet them for coffee or you got to go to lunch or that you have to do a phone call. I mean, you could do FaceTime, Skype, just something where they actually physically hear your voice. One of the great analogies that he said is that we're high tech, but we need to be high touch. So not only do we need to connect with people online, but we need to take it offline and do the high touch. We need to really connect with those people. Social media, when used properly, should only be the first step in the recruiting process, meaning that's how you're like getting some people, but that's not how you're ultimately closing the deal. Not to say that it can't happen, but I feel like a lot of people rely completely on social media and nothing else. And if you're not focused on creating live interactions with prospects, then you're going to really struggle. The reason why most people aren't getting results is that they're stuck on the first part of the equation, the high-tech part, and they're not even really good at that. They're just kind of trying to slide by with that. Do you have anything to add to that, Kim?
No, you hit everything, right on.
Okay.
On there.
The next part is the power of focus and consistency. And I thought this was a really great video of his that I watched. It takes really hard work, and it's got to be something that you have got to decide that you're ready to do. Because when you go, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm thinking back to the video and skipping parts. When you get better in focus and consistency, you're going to see better results. And the keys to success of the focus and consistency, that's working your business every single day. Now, granted, that what you do every single day and how much of it may not be the same every day, but if you're intentionally wholly putting yourself in there and working your business, you will see results. Focus your concentrated effort over time. So focus, concentrated effort that is spent every single day consistently will show up as massive results in your business. Now, are you going to see it today? Are you going to see it tomorrow? Maybe not. It's going to take some time. You do little things every day over time. And when you implement the most important things every day in your business, that's when you will start to see those results. And a lot of people, they lose focus before they see those results. They start getting discouraged, and that discouragement leads to inconsistency. And so then they don't see those results, but they're wondering, well, why am I not seeing results? I'm working my business. When in all reality is you're not working your business. You're not working it every single day. You're not posting every single day. You're not reaching out to people every single day. And when I say every day, I mean, I don't do my, I take time off on the weekends too. I'm not talking about being a 24/7 every single day of the week type deal, because we're supposed to be all about time freedom. But you get the gist of what I'm saying. We take action, but then we get frustrated and we stop when we don't see those results right away. And by the time you actually see the results, 90% of the work is already done. So if you're only putting in 10%, how can you actually see the results? Because the results don't come until you're 90% done. So if you're only given 10%, 20%, 50%, then we shouldn't expect to see those results, because especially in network marketing, we're not going to see those results till 90% later. We've got to take our focus off of the results and focus on the activity. If you're thinking about, maybe your goal is senior gold or whatever, and you're not even silver yet, and that's all you can think about, and you're just focusing on that result, and not putting your focus 100% on the activity that needs to take place to obtain that goal, then your focus is completely off. Your focus is, in the wrong area. True entrepreneurs, they show up for work every single day. You've got to make your business a priority. It's never a time issue. When a lot of people like to say that they don't have time, but in all honesty, you make time for what's a priority in your life. You can make time for anything, and if you really want and need this business for whatever your why is, then you have to make it a priority. And if you don't make it a priority, then your why is not big enough, and you don't have the motivation enough to actually accomplish it. So the only way that we have time to build our business is to make the time. You need to set your business hours, set designated time where you are fully committed without distractions toward your business. Don't let anything distract you. And that's like this afternoon, I had to school all day long. I could not work my business this morning. I posted in the team thread, business hours for today, because it is not happening this morning to answer any of you. But then when I was done with school with them, I sent them outside and I said, do not talk to me for the next hour. If you even attempt to talk to me, you're just going to get my hand. I have given you everything this morning. You're getting nothing from me for the next hour. And I just worked my business for that entire hour. Reached out to somebody who, I've spoken to her once. I don't even know her, but who's already ready to order. Kim was in on a message with her. Totally didn't expect that, but I devoted that full hour to reaching out and prospecting and interacting with people. So when you make your business a priority and you focus on that income producing activity, things will happen. This is another thing that it's kind of been talked about in a lot of different team calls, and you'll hear a lot of different things. And I've always kind of wondered, because people say, well, are you doing income producing activity? And there's like a varying idea of what income producing activity is. And a lot of people think some things are income producing that are not really income producing. So here are 4 things that are true income producing activities. 1, you're contacting new prospects, okay? Number 2, you're presenting to prospects. So you're actually showing the business, or you're showing the products. You're actively already talking to them about the products. 3, you're following up with those prospects. Number 4, you're enrolling new customers and representatives. I want to go back to number 2, the one where I said presenting to new prospects. That doesn't necessarily mean it's your level 1 prospect that you're trying to get. It could mean that you're helping your level 2 with their prospect. And we're going to get into that a little bit later. But that is included in your IPA. So when I spend time helping Kim, get somebody signed on or sharing something, helping her with questions, that's part of my IPA, because that's going to make me money. That is an activity that will bring money to my paycheck. Now, here are things that are not income producing activity. Checking emails, spending time on social media, unless it is when you are prospecting. So if you're just kind of scrolling through, just trying to take a look at who you could add as a friend or who you could talk to, that is not an income producing activity. Number 2, personal development. While it's very important, and that's part of what Kim and I have been doing this last week with this Bob Heilig stuff, very important to grow in your business, but that's separate and apart from income producing activity. I can sit here all day long and watch training videos, but until I implement it, it's not going to do me anything. I mean, I can be the most knowledgeable network marketer out there about every strategy that there is, but if I'm not putting it into action, it's not going to do anything. Number 3, attending meeting and trainings. Unless you're bringing a guest, a prospect with you, it's not income producing activity. Number 4, talking to people who are already on your team, handholders. And I'm not talking about when you're talking to a prospect. When you're talking to a prospect and you're helping a level 2 bring that prospect in, that is income producing activity. But talking back and forth, but like Kim and I talking back and forth about this training, different research stuff that we look at, that kind of stuff, that is not income producing for either one of us. Yes, it's improving our knowledge and it will maybe help us later on, but it's not actively going to bring income. When I talk about hand holders, you know, some of you who've been here a while, you know I've talked about this before. I held hands and spoon fed for a long time, and you cannot do it because you will get to a point as your team grows big enough, you will drown and you will get completely overwhelmed, and then you will have a team full of people who do not know how to do anything by themselves. They won't know how to take the self-initiative to look up things for themselves. So you have to learn to be a leader, lead by example. We have all the content there and guiding them where to look, how to find this stuff. You know, maybe you answer a question one time, but the next time guiding them how to do it for themselves. Because they need to see you do the things, because if you are constantly doing everything for them, you're going to have a whole bunch of totally lost my analogy that I was thinking of. Basically, you're going to have a lot of people who can't do anything without you. And that gets really overwhelming. And I know when I kind of stepped back and quit answering a lot of messages, I know Ashley, she specifically told me that that's when she blossomed. That's when she became a leader and took charge, because I wasn't there to answer every single question for her. She actually had to go look and take control, and then her team saw her as a leader. If you don't take that lead role, they're not going to see you as the leader, and they're going to look up till they find the leader. And maybe that's, you know, another level up or 2 levels up or 3. But that's all about being focused, focusing on your business. That's, you know, making it a priority, putting the time in, and doing those income producing activities. The next point that he made was consistency. So, you know, we've drilled this like a million times. Consistency is the key to success in anything that you do. It does not have to be about business. The consistency in eating healthy will get you results. The consistency of detoxing will get you results. The consistency of exercising every day. The analogy goes on and on. So ask yourself, are you a part-time business owner, or are you a sometimes business owner? Or do you even own your business? Most people only work their business when it's convenient or when they feel like it. Their business is completely run by their emotions or when they feel motivated. And motivation, if you wait till you feel motivated, you'll never accomplish anything significant in your life. The key to motivation is forcing yourself into action. It is when you finally take action that the motivation actually starts to show up. And that's because you will eventually start seeing results. And those results are even going to fuel that motivation even more. So he gave 2 scenarios. Number 1, you have someone that exercises 30 minutes every single day. And then you have somebody who exercises 1 day out of the week for 3 to 4 hours. Which person is going to see more physical results? The person who went every single day, or the person who went the 1 day for 3 to 4 hours? It's obvious. It's going to be the person who goes every single day. They're conditioning their body every single day. They're working those muscles every single day. So it's no different with your business. You'll see a lot better results if you do a little bit every single day. It's called, and he just kind of spelled it out, network marketing for a reason, because it is hard work. You know, it's not going to just be handed into our laps. You're not automatically going to get that paycheck that's going to take over your full-time income or anything. But a lot of people, it's like they don't, you know, maybe they put in 10 minutes for the whole month and they're like, oh, I only made $200. That's great money if you only put in 10, 15 minutes the entire month. But you have to be willing to put in the effort to have success. You have to make this is where we're going to get into something that I challenge each and every one of you to make a commitment to do. And that's to commit to 60 days to go all out, 200%, and take massive action in your business. That means focusing consistent effort on IPA, income producing activity, and leverage all of that power. All of that power will give you mass of action. So you make the decision to truly commit to your business, make it a priority in your life for the next 60 days. I mean, you're going to consistently do it every single day, no matter whether you feel like it, no matter whether, you've been gone all day long and it's now 8 o'clock at night, you just got home and you're exhausted. Work, make the decision. Are you going to work it for the next 60 days? Decide what you're willing to give up over this period of time in order to create the results you want. What are you willing to give up? That scrolling time on Facebook, checking Pinterest for all the amazing recipes, your weekly TV show, whatever it may be. Maybe it's sleeping in a couple mornings a week. I don't know. But there's going to have to be sacrifices made. Decide how much time that you're willing to commit to your business each week in order to reach your goals. Predetermine that amount of time, divide it out, block it off, and get rid of your distractions for that time period. I tell a lot of people, if you have to, go somewhere else. If you can't get anything done at home because everybody needs something all the time, go somewhere else. Go to a coffee shop for an hour every day or 30 minutes, or, go sit in your car, sit at a park, and work on your phone. But schedule your business hours and don't let anything distract you during that time. Each week, schedule out blocks of time when you're going to work. And, one of the things that works for me, this isn't something that he talked about, but I will take a little bit of time at the beginning of the week and I plan out my week. I kind of know what's going to be happening that week. And so I will determine for each day when I'm going to be able to block off my time and what do I need to get accomplished in that time. Make a list, work off your list so that you don't get distracted. Those 4 things that I just gave you guys, those challenges, that's something I really want you to think about. And, in our message thread, we're going to start talking about this more, and perhaps we can make a new message thread that's just for this massive action to really not necessarily talk about all the business stuff, but just daily encouragement, holding each other accountable, asking if you really did it. And if you didn't, maybe we'll be a little hard on you, or you can be a little hard on me if it doesn't happen to make you, pick it up and do better. But if that's something that you want and you want this business, then we'll be talking about that a little more. So those 4 things that I just kind of gave you, making the decision if you want to commit to 60 days, what are you going to give up over that time period? How are you going to make it a priority? What are you willing to sacrifice? And setting business hours. Those are homework assignments. We're going to talk about this. I'm going to ask each one of you. Let me see who else on here. Who's 918? Nancy. Who is it? Nancy? Okay. I'm just seeing who all's on here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and mute you again. But I'm going to reach out to all of you guys, and I'm going to ask you, if this is something that you want. So I did the first 2 parts, and now Kim is going to take over and do the next 2 parts.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to start talking about basic principles of recruiting. We want to focus on the invitation, and because that's the gateway skill of network marketing. If you can master how to invite a prospect to take a look at what it is that you do, or try your products, or take a look at the opportunity, it's going to really open the door to anything else you want in your business. On the other side, if you can't invite, you're going to struggle. So there are core concepts of invitation. I'm going to kind of make a little bit of analogy here. I did talk about this on the last quick Zoom call that we had. You don't want to be a movie trailer. And what I mean by that is, picture when you're at the movies and you're watching the trailers in the beginning of the movie, and they're short little snippets of what's to come in the movie that they're trying to advertise. And you look at it and you're like, wow, that looks like an incredible movie. I want to go see that. The marketers and the producers designed it to be that way. And just like in our company and network marketing, they also, our product marketers have designed our third-party shareables to be that way. So, you can kind of look at those as your movie trailer. And the other thing is that if you go, like, let's say you go see this movie, you see this amazing trailer, and you go home to your husband and you're like, okay, I want to see this movie. I got to tell you about this. I saw the trailer. What you're about to tell him is going to do absolutely no justice to watching it in person. So he's going to be like, oh, that sounds interesting. But if he had seen it in person, he probably would be like, yeah, let's definitely go see that together, because it makes such a huge difference because it was marketed that way. So
Awesome.
don't,
Can I butt
yeah,
in like just a second? I used that today. It works. So that person that I was talking to back and forth,
yeah,
I was kind of talking to her. I said, well, hey, let me just send you this video real quick. All I sent her was the microbiome video in our back office. She immediately
yep,
said, I need that. I need microbiome in my gut. I said, oh,
yeah,
well, let's talk. I didn't go into this dissertation of what all we've got, all the different products. I didn't talk. I gave the link and I said, watch this. It's just a minute long. And
right. Those,
it worked.
yeah, and those things are designed to elicit a response for you to go see that movie or go buy that product or whatever. So we kind of make that analogy there. So don't be a movie trailer. Because we always try to explain in our own words, and it doesn't work. So when sharing information with prospects, like I said, it's extremely important to use third-party tools that we've created. Extremely important, as Kalina just said. So we have videos, we have the PDFs of the product information, we have recorded calls that we do. I mean, you could send them a recorded call, testimonials, etc. So use them. And also, I'm going to say this, we're going to get into this later, but definitely use your upline or your sideline or whoever that you can trust to do to do three-way messages or three-way calls with. And we'll get into that a little bit. So basically, he said, when we try to explain everything on our own, we are rarely able to create enough value or create the same experience. And that really is the point. So just keep it very simple. And once you become a master at this, just press play. So when we talk about approaching a prospect, we have two distinct parts to the approach. Like I said, the invitation. Your job is to invite someone to look at, listen, or watch your third-party tool. That's it. Plain and simple. The presentation is never really your job. That's the job of the third-party tool, your upline, and your three-way call. So don't even get involved in that. Keep it simple. Less is more. Saying less to more people makes you more money. Talks about the law of large numbers that applies. Basically, that's a scientific law that states repeated actions over time will almost without exception produce the results that we seek. So if we are consistently sharing these third-party tools over and over, we will find people that are interested. This also helps you not become emotionally involved to the responses that you're going to get. The more people you talk to, the less emotionally involved you're going to become to the no's or the people that are saying, well, that are sitting on the fence. And we don't want to be emotionally involved with those responses. It could really it could totally discourage you. And then the motivation comes in that Kalina was talking about, or lack thereof. So basically, when you start leveraging the power of large numbers, because it's the biggest problem that most people have, is they say too much and to not enough. So when you start leveraging these large numbers, you become emotionally detached, like I said. Let's see. So one of the reasons why we struggle is we don't talk to enough people. So that's why we're going to do this massive call to action so that we can get 300 to 500 people that we're going to make a list and start working during that 60 days to contact large numbers of people. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Sorry, I'm reading from my notes. Already said that. Did that. Okay, so during this whole process, your job is to sort people and not sell them. It's not to convince people why this is a great opportunity for them, or this is, well, when it comes to the business, why it's a great opportunity for them. Your job is to share the information and let them make a decision. And it always is a matter of timing. And I did touch on this the other day also during our quick Zoom call. Just imagine a clock with 12 o'clock being the person you're prospecting that is completely ready to go, ready to sign up. No questions asked. So like, just sign me up. Other people are at different times along that clock. So, and those people are not, may not be ready to sign, may not be ready to do the business. You just have to be very diligent in your follow-up. Always be in touch with those people, be in front of them so that you're constantly on their mind through the content you create on social media, to be actively prospecting, to be planting those seeds so that when that 12 o'clock time comes for them, you're the one that they think of and you're the one that they're going to call to join your business or buy your products. And that does take time. And Kalina had mentioned before that there are people that she's talked to for over a year and then finally they take the plunge. There's people that I've talked to for months that finally are taking the plunge. So it takes time. It's never no, it's just not now. So just whenever that happens to you, keep following up with them. Remember that clock scenario that I just talked about and wait for them to come around at 12 o'clock and, they'll surprise you. I mean, I've had people sign up this week that I didn't even know that they were considering it. They just signed up. So it was their time. All right, so one of the things that you're going to do is you're going to figure out which third-party tool you're going to be using when you're making your invitations to your prospects. So go on our back office, look at the shareables, go through them. I encourage you to go. I mean, I went through every one of them. Figure out which ones you like the best and which ones you feel you could use more. And you also need to tailor this to what they're telling you to. Listen to what they're telling you. Then you can choose which product or which tool to use. If they want to talk about the business, send them the comp plan. If they want to talk about, vital biome or, they have pain, send them something about ease, or mood, send them something about vital biome. But definitely use them. The second thing is create your list. Create a fresh, new, comprehensive list of 300 to 500 people, cell phone contacts, social media, etc. These can include people that you have already reached out to, because we're going to teach you how to reach back out to them in the next couple of videos. And what to say, how to go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, if you're planning on doing this, one thing that I highly, highly recommend is to create your list of Facebook friends so that you're not having to go down and write a list. I have this 3-ring folder full of over 100 pages of Facebook friends. So I don't have to make that list. I can just go through it.
Mm-hmm. So you're going to commit to reaching out to all those, everybody over again. So you're going to kind of press the reset button. And he's just doing this once a year because, again, that timing comes back into play. What somebody may have told you 6 months ago, they may be ready now. So no, it's never no. It's just not now. And I was just going to say something about the lists also, and I can't remember what I was going to say. If it comes back to me, I'll get back to it. All right, so let's see. The next part that I'm going to go over is the high-tech part, connecting with people online. So you need to have a daily method of operation. That's actually what I was going to. That's what I forgot. I was going to say. So now we're kind of going into that. So you need to be proactive. I'm going to add to that what Kalina had said. You need to be proactive and you need to be intentional about what you're doing and why you are doing it. So slow and steady wins the race, but it's not true when it comes to your business. It will frustrate you and it will definitely kill your business. The secrets to success is engaging in short periods of all-out massive action. So think of he makes an analogy. Think of your business like an airplane, and you are a pilot sitting at the start of the runway. The goal is by the time you get to the end of the runway, you want to be in the air. The only way to get to that plane up in the air is pushing that throttle 100%. Your business is not any different. So you want to be in full throttle. Short periods of all-out massive action is equivalent to full throttle. And you do it, it'll generate tons of excitement and momentum, and it'll carry you through the rest of your year. So that's kind of our goal of this call for massive action, setting the 60-day period so that we can focus on this, do it intentionally. We have these spurts of all-out massive action going on, being consistent, and it will set your momentum for the rest of the year. So you're going to choose your 60-day period. You're going to set your goal for that 60-day period. You're going to get your list of 300 to 500 people, and you're going to try to get through that list as quickly as possible. You're going to reach out and reconnect with everyone on that list. And like Kalina had said, plan your week, set your business hours, prioritize your business as something you're going to do every single day. Focus on your IPA. And you can even talk to your team. You could talk to whoever you want to talk to. Just tell them that in the next 30 days, I'm going to be on a recruiting blitz, and I won't be available. Now, I'm going to do that. My recruiting blitz is going to be starting the week I get back from my parents, like the week after Labor Day. That's going to be the start of my 60-day blitz. So anybody who's here that's on my team, I will be concentrating on that. I will be available, but I'm not going to be as available. So we definitely use your sidelines, your resources, etc. So during this, you're going to leverage the power of social media to connect with these large amounts of prospects very quickly. In the first 30 days, you should be focused on 100% on just connecting with the prospects. Don't take your foot off the gas in that first 30 days. Let's see. So if you're going to do it like part-time, he equates it to like 5 out of 10 new customers per day, not reach outs, and full-time you'd be hitting 10 to 20 new customers a day, reaching out or connecting or prospecting. So segment your contact list into the following categories. Your A players, they're the most successful people that you know, like traditional business owners, high income earners, direct sales experience. These are the first people you talk to, not the last. They're more likely to be open and understand your opportunity when it comes to the business. They're not going to be as skeptical. They make money, but they don't have the time, but they can see the power of what you're offering. The second category is family and close friends, people that you have the closest relationships with, and could most likely help you out. They could become great product users and referral sources to lead you to other people. And just remember, duds leads to a stud. That's one of his catchphrases. So people that don't really want to work the business, they will lead you to somebody that may work the business and may be your gold mine. So, okay, so the third category is people that you've already approached. So people that have already told you no or never got back to you, the timing wasn't right for these people. Now, people told you don't ever contact me again, by all means, do not contact them again. But if they told you no and they didn't give you a really good reason, it just may be a matter of timing. So there's no reason why you can't reach back out to them. And there are 2 scripts for these type of people. And we'll go over them as well. So what you're going to do with them is, press the reset button. All right. So there's only 3 reasons why you should stop following up with a prospect. Number 1, they joined your team. Number 2, like I said, they told you never to contact them again. Or number 3, you die. So if none of those 3 happened, you definitely should keep following up with them. And what I do, just to kind of a side note, what I do, because it's kind of hard organizing, I kind of took Laura's lead on one of her videos. She talks about creating an Excel spreadsheet. And I make an Excel spreadsheet, and I could share that with you guys. I'll just, I could share that with you guys on the team page, just to kind of show you how I have it set up. So I don't go into that right now, but I could share that with you. And I kind of add people to that, and I keep track of where I am. You could organize it into dates, etc., times that you contacted them, next follow-ups, and that kind of thing. All right. So, all right. So let's get into. All right, so he recommends just using the technology to reach out to your prospects and using Facebook messengers and text message, but you still need to pick up the phone and call people as the situation dictates, and you still need to get people on those 3 ways, and maybe using voice messages too for your, in your messengers. The goal here is to create curiosity and not raise resistance with the prospect. The initial contact is to create the curiosity. And here are some examples of how people raise resistance in the initial contact with the prospect. So this is things that you don't want to do, but it will raise resistance. Mentioning the name of your company comes across as salesy and promotional. They will go to Google, they're going to do a search, they're going to see negative info about the company, which is out there on every company, every product pretty much, and you're going to lose them. Mentioning network marketing. Most people aren't sitting around thinking that they're going to start a network marketing business. So, they start it because they're introduced to something by someone that they know, like, and trust, which Kalina had touched on in the beginning. And they see it as a vehicle to help them solve a problem in their life. So it helps them get over that preconceived notion of what network marketing presents. So here's another way of raising resistance: giving the presentation copy and paste method. It's very amateur, it's very lazy, and it's very unprofessional, according to Bob Heilig, not me. I'm not calling you lazy or unprofessional, but don't do that. So treat the initial message that you that you start with people just like you would an actual live conversation. So if you see somebody at the mall, you're not going to start talking about network marketing and whatever. You're going to say, hey, how you doing, and kind of break the ice, and then transition into what you're doing, at the appropriate time. So if it's not something you wouldn't say to them in person, then don't send it on social media. It has to be conversational. So here's an example of what not to do. Quote, hey, Adrian, been a while. I'm sure you've seen my post about ... and probably have seen all the fun I'm having, right? Haha, never thought I'd be doing network marketing, but it's awesome. I thought of you as a friendly people person. Do you want to hear how my business works? Now, I have to admit, in my early days in network marketing, I did that. And it's kind of embarrassing, but I did it. And now I look at that and I have to kind of laugh, but then I hold myself back from laughing because there are still people that do it. It's just basically inexperience. You don't know. And we're here to help you with that. So don't give away too much. Create that curiosity. And here's what you should say. Keep your initial message very generic. Don't give your presentation like I said earlier. Just treat it like how you'd have a conversation with them. Open up a conversation. Create that curiosity. And remember, less is more. And the less you say, the more you make. Our goal here is to use social media to pique the interest, to schedule a time to make the actual invitation live by phone or in person. It makes everything 100 times more effective. So remember that. The goal for social media is to pique the interest so that you could schedule time with them on a follow-up, whether it's live or in person. And whenever you talk to anybody in any message, don't ever leave it without any kind of closure. Always set your next follow-up, you schedule your next follow-up with them. So here's some 4 prospecting scenarios. Someone you know well, that's your warm market. Someone that you haven't spoken to in a while, that's your lukewarm market. Someone that has already told you no, and someone that you don't know, that's your cold market. And I'm sure you guys have heard those terms before. Warm market approach, remember, say as little as possible to get on the phone with them or in front of them to get that live interaction. And we have scripts for this that you know what we could do, Kalina, is maybe we can post the scripts on the team page so that everybody can see them and utilize them. So after you send your initial message, wait for them to respond. If they don't respond, wait a few days and try a follow-up message or change your approach, because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting the same results. So that, I think that was Einstein, not me. So, you know, maybe use a text message or call them. And, you know, as far as follow-up, Laura's got a great quick video on the Laura and Donna Lee page about follow-up and how she kind of schedules hers for 24 hours, like 3 days and 2 weeks. I think she uses those times. So definitely, if you have an opportunity to watch that, watch that. So then that's the warm market approach. Then there's the opinion approach. And again, you'll see the scripts and they're all broken down in the script formula there. That makes it near impossible for them to reject you because you're not directly asking if they're interested. If they're a prospect, this will pique their interest and there's no pressure to buy. So basically, it's kind of like asking their opinion on something. Hey, you know, I have this great video. I'm trying to, you know, see how it affects my market. Would you give me your opinion on it if I send it to you? That type of stuff. And again, those scripts are going to be in that. So you must be willing to reach out to this group of people because a lot of the times this is where you're going to find your hidden gold. People often struggle contacting these people because they're afraid of what the other person will think of them. If they get offended, then you don't want them in your business anyway. So just remember that. The fact that you're reaching out to them creates a sense of urgency and importance. And always remember that it's always a two-way street. Don't feel uncomfortable that you're reaching out to someone that you haven't talked to because they haven't reached out to you either. Sorry, I got something that's, okay, so let's see. It's only going to be an issue when people say no and you never hear from you again. So the recruiting process starts when someone says no. The timing, like I said, has to be right, and you have to keep cultivating the relationship. With these prospects, you need to send a message or two in the beginning, catching up, build rapport with them. Don't fall into the trap of messaging back and forth for too long. Because by the time you bring the opportunity to them, it's less effective. You've lost their interest, and it only comes across as like you have an agenda. So keep it short. People appreciate you being direct in your communication. Let them know up front the reason why you're reaching out. If you're honest, if you are not honest, it raises resistance. And then you are fighting that much harder. And you just want to keep this simple. Okay, so the next approach is the network approach. Again, you can look at the scripts that we're going to give you. Someone that told you no. This is the place where a lot of people struggle with the most. Most of the best people may be recruited this way. Even if you did it totally wrong the first time, it doesn't matter. I've actually used these scripts and said I've messed up the first time. Is there a possibility that I could start over? When I did it, I got 2 people sign up. So approach them the right way, and if the timing is better, they'll be open to taking a look. But your willingness to reach out to them and make that invitation is key. Remember, again, I'm going to say this again, it's never no, it's just not now. So it's basically, I call it the I totally screwed up approach. This next one that I kind of alluded to. Again, you can see the script. There's also the checking back in approach and the market research approach, which I did kind of jump ahead and I did talk about that one. But use the market research approach anytime your company has something new to share. So when they come out with new products in the next 6 months, definitely use this approach. It could be a new video, a new product, a new presentation, anything that would give you a reason to reach back out to someone that you've already reached out to. Bob says it's completely bulletproof. I haven't used it yet, so And I guess in that he says it's bulletproof because it completely removes any possibility of you getting rejected by the prospect. All right, so secrets to taking prospect to the next level. Use Facebook Voice Messenger to send some people, to send some of the stuff to people so that they can hear the excitement in your voice. Don't use the first message for people that you haven't spoken to in a while. So don't use it at, the voice messenger. All right, let's see, where am I going now? Cold market. Before I go on, do you have anything to add, Kalina?
Hold on, I was unmuting myself because I never know what's going to happen in the background of my house. No, I was just, while she was talking, you probably saw my head down. I'm sitting here typing because I did just that. I'm putting into practice the things that we're talking about. And I just reached back out to somebody today. I did not talk about Plexus. Like I said, I didn't. And the scripts, maybe you said this. I was half listening at this point because I was communicating with her. But the scripts that we're going to put on there, do not copy and paste. It is the skeleton of what you're going to send. You are going to add to that or take a little bit out, but you've got to make it personal for that person. If you reach out to 20 people, all 20 people's messages should be different because they're 20 different people. They're not the same. Their issues aren't the same. Their lives aren't the same. So it's just a skeleton plan, and then you'll add the meat to it. You're going to put the meat and make it for that person. But my point in what I was saying is I put that into practice. I reached out to her about a post that I saw she had made in one of the groups I'm in. She just sent me back this message, and in her message, she says, towards the end, she says, "How are you? How is Plexus? I have been following your posts." Well, I talked about some other thing. I answered her question. She got a concussion, so I was asking her about that. I was like, "Oh, how'd you get your concussion?" She answered me, and I said, "Oh dear, that's horrible." I said, "It's great that your yeast infections have cleared up." And then I said, "Plexus is good. I'm a Plexus for life. LOL." I said, "Health transformation. I cannot complain." I said, "I'm focused on educating, guiding people in health, detox, and getting their life back." She responds, "I cannot wait to try it." My next response, "I'm always here. Do you have FaceTime? We can chat tomorrow." I'm setting up the appointment now. She's excited. She wants to try it. I can't, I'm busy tomorrow, but I'm going to make it work tomorrow because she's ready. I don't want to wait till, it's a more convenient time for me. I want to get her started on the products. So that was I just kind of wanted to, that's what I was sitting here doing. So just today, I have implemented these things. I have 2 live appointments set up of people who are ready to order. They're ready to order. This one that I'm talking here right now, I've reached out to her 5 gazillion times about Plexus. Like, we've talked about it, but she's tried everything else. I think she's finally come to the conclusion that, obviously what she's doing is not working that great. But anyway, I just wanted to share that.
Okay, so I'm sorry, I'm looking at the time. It's like we've gone on for almost an hour. So the last is the cold market prospect, and that's the expanding your business approach. And basically that's approaching any professional type people. This approach, it could work on Facebook, but it's best suited for LinkedIn, which I'm going to do that training, and I'm going to teach you guys how to use LinkedIn to target professional people that are more suited to do the business part of this.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be amazing because that is that's a social media market that is not really tapped out yet.
Yeah. So I think I actually jumped ahead into the second module by accident. Sorry, I get going.
I'm going to stop the recording.